Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Board of Adjustment meeting for the City of Bettendorf for June 15th, 2023. Roll call.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Spranger, Tansey, Tombergs,
Yes.
Vermillion.
Yes.
Okay, we have enough for a quorum. Before I get too far into this, Mark, I think you have a guest that you would like to introduce.
Mr. Chairman, I have Ashton Wheeler sitting next to me. Ashton's a student at Iowa State University. He's working as an intern in our office, helping with some GIS projects, but he's here tonight mainly in an observation learning role, and we're really happy to be able to provide that opportunity to him, and we're really glad he's here.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. And have a good summer, I guess. Yeah. So, okay, this is the Board of Adjustment, and we are a 5-member normally board. We only have 3 here tonight, but 3's enough. And we are appointed by the mayor. There are certain items that come before us, such as adjustments and special use permits and other appropriate things. Normally, we try to go out and view the properties before the meeting, so we're in a position to rule on the application at the meeting. The next item on the agenda is minutes of our May 11th meeting. The board has received those all electronically. Do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No.
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes then.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is case 23039. It's at 1040 State Street. It's a C3. It's a special use permit to allow an outdoor service area for alcohol submitted by Jonathan Manette. Do we have a staff report?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. So case 23-039, this is 1040 State Street. There's multiple addresses at this location. The applicant is Jonathan Manette of Adventurous Brewing. The request is for an outdoor special use permit to allow an outdoor service area with alcohol. So this will be a patio located in the parking lot. Structure has existed there, was built since in 1950. The realignment of State Street when the I-74 construction was occurring and realignment of State and Grant took away a lot of this parking lot, so you can see the new sloped configuration. The current building is home to mechanical and maintenance company TMI and the brewery and bar. The Adventurous Brewing did come to this board for a request for a bar special use permit in 2021, and it was approved. So they are now operating as the front section as a bar, and then the back section as a brewery, which is like manufacturing. Future land use and zoning. This area of downtown Bettendorf is shown as UMI on the future land use map, and part of it is actually shown as UHI, so urban high intensity and urban medium intensity. The current zoning is C3 General Business District, and I will note it's also located in our Downtown Master Plan Overlay District. So our Downtown Overlay District has a number of design criteria, has some performance exceptions for parking, and a number of other things that are listed in that Downtown Master Plan. Adjacent developments include commercially zoned areas to the east and the west. Farther west, we do have a high-density residential area. To the north along Grant Street, there is some single-family residents. They are separated by an alleyway, and the front of these businesses, which is Adventurous Brewing and TMI, they face south. All these residents face north, so I just want to lay that out for you. The proposed outdoor service area will require the removal of 3 parking spaces. These parking spaces are noted on the figure map shown. 1 ADA space will be relocated. It's being required by staff and to meet ADA guidelines and requirements. That space can be moved directly one space directly east of the current location. I will note that in reviewing the calculation for parking of this proposal, upon approval of the special use permit for the bar, the parking calculation for the multi-tenant building at that time in 2021 was they had a total of 76 spaces, and that was 3 excess spaces. That in 2021, this building had 4 tenants: TMI, proposed Adventurous Brewing, a tobacco liquor store, and another, I think, Johnson Control Services. 2 of those units to the far east of the building are now vacant, and they are proposed to be occupied by expansions of TMI General Office, believe warranty office, and then more brewing area, so manufacturing part of the brewing, not the bar area. Both of these uses are less intense uses than the previous occupants. Thus, the calculation for parking is actually lower. So they had 3 excess spaces before. They probably have even more now. So the staff contends that the parking is sufficient for this area in the downtown area. I do note that that ADA spot will be moved over here, and it does have the striping for that van accessibility. So that will still have the sidewalk has grade ramps. The entrance is located about midway through the building. There is garage doors there currently that can open during the when weather permitting, to kind of create an open atmosphere. In 2021, the special use permit was approved by the board. Since then, there's been no, staff has not received any complaints or noise complaints. It's been a well-run business. So as far as compatibility and character for this proposal, staff contends this meets those conditions. All special use permits need to meet 9 standards as outlined in 1115-9E. I'll quickly run through them. This is allowed in the targeted district. This applies to all applicable zoning regulations. As mentioned, the character and harmony for is this use in character and harmony for the intended district? Yes, it's a brewery and bar, and they are desired in the downtown area. And the outdoor service would be consistent with the character of the area. This does not, staff contends this does not discourage or hinder development in the target district. This will actually attract more visitors downtown. This is one of our main goals of a comprehensive plan and our downtown master plan, and may actually encourage development of additional downtown businesses because of this approval. Is the parking adequate? As outlined in my previous comments, yes. Any substantial injury to other property in the neighborhood? No. The investment in the building will likely increase surrounding property values. They will be putting up a fence around this patio, some additional lighting, and so forth. And this has not been reviewed by and denied by the Board of Adjustment within the past year. Staff doesn't recommend one condition. That condition is to meet ADA parking requirements, that current existing ADA spot be relocated directly 1 space east of its current location. And is the proposed use consistent with the comprehensive plan? Yes. Goal B, revitalize downtown and enhance the riverfront. And goal C, attract and retain businesses, are met by this proposal. Staff contends the proposal meets all the required standards for a special use permit and recommends approval of the special use permit to allow an outdoor service area at 1040 State Street for Adventurous Brewing, with the following condition: for that 1 ADA parking spot to be relocated. I can take any questions.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of this application? Anyone wish to speak opposed to it? It probably should be noted that we received 1 letter, it looks like, from David Baker. And he's not opposed to it. He just suggested he thought it would be good for public relations if the owner were to advise neighborhood when and if there would be bans and excessive noise at the area. So that's something to be taken in consideration. But, okay, anything further from the group? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny the application. Go ahead.
A motion that we approve case number 23039 with the change in the ADA parking space, and that it all be approved as drawn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Gallagher?
Yes,
Tom Burks?
Yes.
Vermillion?
Yes.
that's passed. The second item is case 23041. It's at 250 35th Street. It's an I-3 zone. It's a variance to reduce the required front yard setback from 50 to 20 feet and submitted by Focus Real Estate Development. Staff report.
Mr. Chairman, location that we have is essentially here's State Street, and here you come down 35th Street. This is the location here, which is a lot that has been used for outdoor storage over a number of years. The applicant is Focus Real Estate Development, and they request a reduction right along here from 50 feet to a front yard setback along 35th Street of 20 feet. The area presently is zoned I-3 Heavy Industrial District, and that 50-foot requirement is in place along any right-of-way as a front yard setback. Future land use is industrial. It's been that way, just like the zoning, for a number of years. Very little has changed in terms of the intensity of uses in the area. What the petitioner's asking for, and he's constrained by what happened when this ground was platted in 1993. You've got this area right here, and that consists of over 14,000 square feet. You've got this front yard 50-foot setback, and then you also have an easement here on the south. What he's asking is that this area here, 30 feet, be taken and essentially allowed for him to be building in that area. And the trade-off there for that amount of ground is actually less than this area here that's consumed as a bike trail, recreational trail, and sanitary sewer easement. His concept of what he'd like to do is place these buildings here. He would have indoor and outdoor storage on this particular lot. There's means of access already here. This is a shared access further to the south, and then he wants to stage the buildings in and also have outdoor storage. Those are also permitted uses in that area. This is the parcel. This is the recreational trail with the rail over here, 35th Street, and then Depot Street here. And this is the parcel, and currently there is some type of storage outdoor taking place, and that would be removed, of course. You'd see the improvements within that area with those buildings. Now, over the last 30 years, staff could find 5 variance cases for I-3 properties within the city, 4 of which of these cases were within the area from essentially 23rd Street, south of State Street, and south of the railway tracks, going over Duck Creek. All 5 cases supported variances of varying degrees for setback relief, one even to the extent of cutting back to a 0 lot line for a setback, essentially. Staff supports the petitioner's request as he is essentially gaining 11,500 square feet while at the same time giving up 14,400 square feet to the north. And staff, in reviewing this proposal, feels that it meets the standards for a hardship, and we therefore support the variance request for the reduction from 50 feet to 20 feet for the front yard setback for 35th Street. I would ask, are there any questions?
Any questions from staff?
No.
This is south of the railroad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, south, back in there. Yep.
Will it be temperature controlled?
What's that?
It's storage, right?
Yeah.
Will it be temperature controlled? Those are very hard to find.
Maybe it will. I don't know.
Depends
Just saying,
who's buying, huh?
it is
Make your pitch
extreme.
later.
It is extremely hard to find.
We would consider that.
Okay, any other questions? Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of the application? Anyone wish to speak opposed to it? Seeing neither, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve case 23-041 with the variance to, for the required front yard setback to go from 50 to 20 feet.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Gallagher?
Yes.
Tom Burks?
Yes.
Vermillion?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. The next one is case 23042. It's adjacent to 204-36, I guess. It's street, it's an I-3. It's a variance to reduce the required front yard setback from along 35th Street from 50 to 20, to reduce the required front yard setback along Depot Street from 50 to 15, and to reduce the required street yard landscaping submitted by Barton Solvents. Staff report.
Mr. Chairman, this is one parcel, and Barton Solvents is this area here as well, and they're looking to use this parcel, which currently has nothing on it, to increase the size of their operation so that they can have essentially warehousing and a truck terminal within this area. And in doing so, they're within an I-3 district. They're right across from the parcel we just looked at to the east. Again, you have these 50-foot setbacks that are here within the area, and a number of these particular buildings that have been placed within the I-3 zoned area simply have not observed these setbacks over the years. The truck terminal and the indoor storage or warehousing is a permitted use within the I-3 general or I-3 heavy industrial district, and again, we see the industrial land use here throughout the entire area pretty much. This is the Barton Solvents area of ownership right here. And what they're requesting is the reduction along the railway up here or Depot Street here. This is the 50-foot mark, this entire area. The blue portion is what they're asking to be allowed to be built in, and the tan portion is the area that would remain as 15 feet. Over on this side, it's 20 feet in the tan portion that would remain. And they're also asking for that reduction too for the landscaping because they want to again use this area. This is a plot plan of what the design would look like. And this will again have to go through site development plan proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Commission. You have a rail spur that comes in and is already in use by Barton Solvents right here. This is going to give you the truck terminal area and warehousing. The site, this is a view here. This is where 36th Street is, this entry. So that's why it's addressed as it is. There is a 36th Street here, even though it is not per se up to city code, or I should say our subdivision standards, but it is there. And then this is the area right here that Barton Solvents is looking at building in. You can see these tanks right here. And this is the view looking to the east on Depot and then looking south on 35th. Again, a rather large parcel area. Barton Solvents also submitted the reasoning behind asking for this request, and staff in looking at this and seeing what other locales in the area do not meet the standards. And again, what they're asking for in this process is something that, again, has been supported by past boards. Again, they've shown their due diligence in looking at other properties in the area that also do not comply, and they were not given variances in many instances to have the setbacks they have. And the other issue is the safety separation issue. You've got between this, any proposed structure right here and adjoining over here, once you get to the right-of-way, there's a 90-foot separation that would be built in between those two, between the anticipated storage on this site. And where the railroad track is up here, between this structure and the railway is 100 feet. So we're maintaining these separate areas, as well as there is no encroachment down here further closer to this structure. So what we're seeing is we're maintaining a separation for safety purposes. And based on this and what the petitioner is asking for and what the petitioner as well as staff has been able to review, we would recommend approval of the variance for the setback reductions as requested. I would ask, are there any questions?
Could you talk a little bit more about those landscaping things you mentioned twice?
The landscaping areas would be basically contained within the area that would not be consumed.
Within that brown stripe?
This is, yeah. That's essentially the area they'd be required to landscape.
Right, okay.
And really, when you look at it, there's not much in the way of any landscaping with any site that is south of the railway track. So they're actually sort of the oddball on this one.
So is that something that they will have to do?
Yes,
Okay,
So they will put in some minimal
Yes.
landscaping in there anyway. Maybe they'll start a trend, you never know.
and maintaining that 90-foot safety thing between that and the one we just approved, that's possible without those warehouses not
yes.
being able to be
I
all
mean,
they wanted
when
to
you
be.
look at the right-of-way on 35th Street, then the setbacks on both parcels, you're going to have that 90-foot distance.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
Anyone in the audience want to speak in favor of this application? You're welcome to. Anybody want to talk?
For it.
Okay. I figured you would be. Anybody want to speak opposed to it? I don't see anybody opposed, okay? What's your pleasure? I'll entertain a
I'll make
motion.
a motion.
Okay,
We approve case 23-042 for a variance to reduce the required front yard setback along 35th Street and 50 feet to 20, and the variance along Depot Street from 50 to 15,
okay,
The required landscaping.
and the required landscaping.
okay, got a motion, a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call,
Gallagher?
yes.
Tom Burks?
Yes.
Vermillion?
Yes.
Again, that one passes as well. That's all we have before us tonight. Anything else? If not,
Be on the 17th of
okay,
July
we
for-
stand adjourned then. Okay, thanks a lot.